I've been reading through the book of Jeremiah, and as many of you know, that's a prophet in the Old Testament. He wrote an entire book that many people would say was kind of boring. But as I read through this and am reading through this, I think there's a lesson there that he's teaching us in a great way that I want to share with you this morning in your morning cup of inspiration. Thanks for joining me. The question is, what drives you? And let's talk about Jeremiah. He was a young boy. God said that he had called him from the womb. He knew what he wanted Jeremiah to do, and he presented it to this young boy, and the boy was scared. Jeremiah didn't want to do it, but he was obedient even at a young age. His basic responsibility was to be a prophet to Israel and Judah and turn them back to God. It never happened in Jeremiah's entire life. In fact, every time Jeremiah spoke what God told him to speak, he was threatened to be killed many times. He was reprimanded. He was thrown into a pit. He lived his entire life like that. Now, what if Jeremiah was driven by results? What if Jeremiah had a job to do, and at the end of the day, he needed to see that he had accomplished that job? He would have been miserable, wouldn't he? Maybe that's you today. Maybe you're result driven. Maybe everything you do, you have to see results for your effort. Well, I think the point that I'm trying to make and that Jeremiah made to us is that we should not be driven by results. We need to be driven by obedience. That's what Jeremiah was. He was obedient to God. Whatever God told him to do, he did. And God took care of him. Jeremiah, in the eyes of God, was a huge success and a vital part of our Bible and of Scripture and of history to the Israelites. Think about that today. What drives you? Are you driven by results? Are you driven by impressing people? Or are you driven by obedience to God? I pray you'll let that sink in. I pray that you'll join me as we continue to strive to be obedient to God and let the results take care of themselves. God bless. Thanks for joining me for that morning cup of inspiration, and we'll see you next time.